Welcome back to my channel. We will close the hard drive reader in this episode. Let's jump in. In the last episode, I finished the first coat of the paint. Today I'm picking up right where I left off. Since I have figured out how to mix this copper-like color properly, the real challenge is consistency. This time, I'm not just painting. I'm focusing on how to preserve this mixed color so I can reuse it again and get exactly the same result in the future. For the second coat, I want it a bit brighter, so I added more white. Once the color looked right, I start applying it. First, I transfer the paint from the cup onto the surface. Then I spray it out by brush, slowly, evenly, and carefully. This time takes patience because achieving true smoothness takes time. I took that as a meditation exercise, which is kind of relaxing. If you can't stand the smell of acrylic paint, grab a mask. They are no toxic, but trust me, it helps. I asked Gemini about the characteristic of acrylic paint, and here is what I learned. You can make acrylic paint thinner by adding water or special liquid, but after it dries, you can't make it thin again. After that, it won't dissolve in water anymore. The best part is stable, not easy to fit. A friend of mine suggested I should try spray painting techniques instead of using a brush to do so. I have all the equipment, and I'm learning the skills from other YouTube channels. Hopefully you will see that in the future. Stay tuned and support the channel. Thanks. The painting skill is simple. Don't paint the area that won't be seen. After finishing, it needs to dry completely for about 2 hours. I use the cup to store the mixed paint, seal the top with a plastic film, and tighten it with a rubber band around the rim. After the acrylic paint was completely dry, actually the next day, it was time to start assembly. First up, the vertical support. This part has been screwed together before, back they were not painted. Since my electrical screwdrivers has been pretty low torque, I just went ahead and used it again. If it didn't work, I would switch to a manual screwdriver. At first, I ran into a problem. The drawer wouldn't slide in. Looks like I forgot to count for the paint thickness in the design. It's my first time doing this, so scale is tricky. And there's a simple fix: sanding. I tackled it from two sides: the outer edge of the drawer and the inner side of the vertical support. Sand a little, test a little. Repeat. Just like in life, when faced with one-way ticket actions, a good strategy is to take small steps forward and always ready to adjust as you go. Finally, it slides in perfectly. Assembly process continued from there. Next, I installed the PCB and the satellites, along with the support and the shield. I was still a bit nervous, worried the painting thickness might miss with the other parts. Turns out, I was overthinking it. Everything else is okay. Good. Right now, the SATA cable installation bin could definitely be designed like a real product, but for now we just leave it as it is. The reason I designed the PCB part as a separate unit is simple. First, if it breaks down, I can easily replace it. Second, I'm learning PCB design right now, so if I ever design my own hard drive reader, I will swap in my own PCB in a very easy way. That is so cool, isn't it? If you are interested in this, don't forget to subscribe. I will share my learning map in future projects. I found a paint prototype from previous project, perfectly for using as a pad. The purple shell is just a temporary. I will design a 3D printed specialized installation tool later on. When designing my own hard drive reader, I made sure to leave clearance on all sides. In that way, if the device ever falls, the hard drive won't be the first thing to hit the surface. It's all about protecting the precious data. Plus, the hard drive is slightly off the ground by design, which adds a bit of water resistance. Test the whole setup, and it looked great. Let's take a look about how much test printing material I have used for this project so far. That's a lot. I also printed drawers in different colors, preparing for the hard drive storage or NAS later. If you are curious and want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Thanks! The box linkage is a bit boring, so I was wondering, should I add fun logo? Then it hit me, the McDonald's burger I had a couple of days ago. I printed the M logo, traced it onto the paper with a hobby knife, and got to work. This builds on what I learned from my Moss Garden project. Check my YouTube page if you are interested. But this time, it's a bit more challenging. First, this area is much bigger. Second, the surface is irregular, so paint might leak during the color separation. And finally, the M logo has curves, something I'd never done before. That's the charm of DIY, isn't it? On the path of progress, there's no limit, just go for it. Sealing it properly is essential. I will apply the paint straight, probably 3 coats. I stack on black electrical tape, press it down carefully to avoid gaps. Then attach the logo with super glue. I press it down carefully after each cut, adding extra tape in some areas just in case. When cutting the M logo with a hobby knife, be careful. The surface is made of several sections typed together. Cut it harder, but not too much. At first, I was worried that the knife marks might miss with the surface experience. As it turned out, I was worrying for nothing. Once I applied the acrylic paint, it covered all scratches, but at that time I hadn't realized that yet. Painting 3-4 coats, applied thickly. If it bleeds a little, I can touch it up later. And yes, I also worried the type might pull up the paint. All I could do was hope for the best. Once the paint was dry, the exciting part arrived, peeling off the type. The yellow logo is fantastic. The result? Better than expected. Just a few tiny imperfections that needed a little touch-up. Finally, it's time to touch up the color on the sanded drawer. Apply the copper-like color to the sanded transitions, focusing especially on the areas beyond the mark lines. By the way, do you remember the original look and how we got this? If you want to check the details, look my previous videos in my channel. Let's see the result. That is cool, isn't it? Thanks for watching. I will see you in next project. Until then, take care. Peace.